DJ Envy, the one of the faces of the Breakfast Club radio show and podcast, is been linked with a gentleman who's been running a real estate Ponzi scheme. And the reason why DJ Envy is in the news is because this guy has promoted this gentleman named Cesar Pina. Pena. I don't know how they pronounce it. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. But Cesar, I'm gonna say Pena. He's been promoting this guy on his social media, on the radio show, saying that he is a real estate guru. He, and he's been pretty much running workshops with them, basically trying to get people to come along and invest in the real estate space. I'm gonna say space for now, but in the real estate space to let this gentleman run the money for him and get them 30% return on investment from this actual real estate. Now, D-Lo, how do you feel about this whole situation revolving around DJ Envy? And do you believe, well, I'm not going to say that, but do you believe that he was tied into the scheme that Mr. Pena was running?
It is crazy what is going on with DJ Envy and Cesar Pina in this Ponzi scheme, so to speak, or what is being deemed as right now. And I would not rule it out as him having some type of involvement with it. And the reason I say that is because of everything that you mentioned leading up to this point. He promoted him on the radio show. Cesar came to the radio show quite often. The group that I followed and how I came to know Cesar and how DJ Envy were in the real estate space, Earn Your Leisure podcast. I followed them heavy. They were on their show a couple of times talking about real estate and how you can get money flipping houses and doing this and doing that, and how much money or how many doors Cesar had, who I think he was saying that he had estimated 1,000 doors. And so the thing in a lot of spaces or a lot of financial spaces is you want to try to get 100 doors. And then that's how you can build your wealth, by having those doors. And so Cesar was saying he had 1,000, 2,000 doors, something like some astronomical amount of properties that he had under his real estate portfolio. And so, and DJ Envy was right there with him saying, yeah, we do this, we do that. We work normally in New Jersey, but all of these people are coming to us trying to figure out what's going on with how we're getting the type of money we're getting. And we're showing them this and showing them that. So DJ Envy may not be the mastermind behind it, but because of who he is and because of the type of trust that individuals have in him, because he is a DJ and a personality of the Breakfast Club. He's been there long standing for quite some time. People are like, okay, if he's doing it, he's been in it for this long, it has to be, against my better judgment. I don't know what these people are thinking that we're giving the money to, but I'm just assuming, against my better judgment, let me try this out and see what it's all about. What do I have to lose? Well, it looks like you lost a little bit of money, because there's what they're saying is there's nothing there. So I'm not going to put it outside of, I'm not going to rule it out that he is 100% a part of it, but until the hard facts come out, or till there's a conviction against him, I'm going to say, I guess not.
Yeah, man, because Cesar, a record, and this is just, reportedly, because it's probably more. This is probably just everybody who kind of stepped forward, but $17 million in investments as of right now from people who they've gotten reports from that sent him money to invest in real estate. I've seen
and heard higher.
You seen and heard higher? What did you see? 100 million? Sheesh. So he's got, because it's been reports of people losing.
30. I'm sorry.
30 million?
30 million. Sorry.
30 million. Okay. So 30. So now reportedly $30 million in investments that were stolen from people to invest in real estate with him. And the way that I think he was doing it was he would get somebody, say, to invest in real estate for $500K. And he already guaranteed, hey, you're going to get 30% return on investment. So whenever that $500K was sent back, so say he said it back in 6 months, you get that money back in 6 months once the property sells. So once that $500,000 is sent, he pockets the money. This person is expecting to get $150,000 in return. So this person, so senior Caesar probably be like, you know what you can do is you can roll that principal that you have along with that profit that you made, $650,000 into the next one. And then he just kept rolling over the profit,
Mm-hmm.
rolling over the profit, rolling over the profit, and then principal, rolling over the profit and principal, rolling over the profit and principal. So now he's just not only still in the quote unquote profit that he's supposed to be making over, because a lot of the joints saying, a lot of the reports are saying that he didn't even, number one, have these places that he was saying that he had. So that's number one, mortgage fraud, and then secondly, fraud in general. But then he was having people wire him money, which is wire fraud. And if for those that don't know, wire fraud is every time somebody wires you money, RICO, number one, but every time somebody wires you money is a separate charge. So if he got 20 people to wire him bread, he's got 20 wire charge accounts against him. Now, it's just weird because, and another thing that kind of bothered me about what DJ Envy was doing was that he was promoting this guy as, he's one of us. He's one of us type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's a guy from New York, and the people that he knows, he's got pictures out there with 50 Cent and Snoop and people like that. Not that those people were in it with him, but just people that he knows and the circles that he runs in. And he's a New Yorker. He runs around black people, and he's black himself. He's a colored gentleman. He's one of us. You should trust him because he's one of us. And that's how a lot of people get in trouble, man. Is like D-Lo said, against the people's better judgment. They see DJ Envy. DJ Envy's promoting this guy as one of our people. And now it's like he running around with your money and stealing your bread. And shout out to LeBron. LeBron did it well. You know what I'm saying? His boy, looked out for him. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the exceptions to the rule. But most people will be, like your Tim Duncans of the world, your Kevin Garnett's of the world, who had their friends be their, agents or promoters, and it didn't work out for them. So it's like, you got to be smart, man. Like, I don't think DJ Envy would be somebody that I would go for investment knowledge in the first place. First of all. Secondly,
Joe Button said that. That's funny.
And I saw what Joe Button said. I didn't see the whole episode, but I saw that Joe Button was like, yo, he called me on something, and we don't talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, he called me, well, we don't talk. We haven't talked in years. We're not even in it. But he called me talking about some real estate shit, talking about Queen Latifah and Fabulous. And he was like, that just sounds a little fishy. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, at some point, he won't even listen. So it's like, bro, like, I don't know, dog. DJ Envy says he didn't have anything to do with it. And if Mr. Pena was taking money, he wasn't privy to it. But you also promoted him, and you also said that you got money back, even though it wasn't all of it. You also said you got money back, and you were doing these seminars where you were trying to bring investors on. So there's no way that you didn't know that this man was receiving money from people because you were trying to get investors. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I rambled on and went a little bit long, but it's like, bro,
you're good.
Yeah,
you're good. I think to drive my point home is, people, for whatever reason, trust celebrities to their own detriment, which is why companies use celebrities to sell their stuff. They have them endorse it. So, you have those big stars that on Nike campaigns, whatever, you name the brand, you have some star that's promoting it. And what Cesar did was he attached himself to DJ Envy. DJ Envy's been on, like I said, Breakfast Club for quite some time, big in New York, New Jersey area. And just as of the last 10 years or so, I believe, or 5 years or so, they've gone national with streaming, podcasting, and iHeartRadio and stuff like that. They've gone national. But what Cesar Pina was doing, to my understanding, was he was flipping houses in the New York, New Jersey area. And so he attached himself. Yeah. And so he attached himself to DJ Envy. And then from there, it was, okay, DJ Envy would have him, come on the show. He would, because DJ Envy has a car show of himself. And so he would have Cesar come to those events. He would have him do these engagements and speaking events with him as well. And so because the general public listens to DJ Envy every day, or they see him every day, they're like, oh, I know this person. oh, he's doing this. Yeah, let me listen to what his friend is talking about. And so they get, they get involved in it, and what the rest is history. We know a lot of people use their fame, use their notoriety to gain or garner more money, power, and respect. Examples of that would be Praz recently. From He was
Mm-hmm.
an ex-member of the Fugees.
Yep.
He used his fame to help foreign governments try to influence the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
Little Tay, we talked about her a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
who we hadn't seen in quite some time, had somebody, whether it was her or somebody outside of herself, fake her death, and then she promoted a daggone song. And we still don't know which case is what, if it was her or whoever else that faked her death. But it does seem pretty suspicious that right after that she has a song to promote. The former president, Donald Trump, he gained all this fame and notoriety from Celebrity Apprentice, The Apprentice, and all that stuff. Became a
Mm-hmm.
trusted entity within the United States. He became president. Money, power, respect. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's just to name a few. So if DJ Envy is not the mastermind in it, he has a lot to do with all of this that's going on, because he attached himself to another person that had malice intent. And so
True.
he might not serve he might not serve a lot of time if it is in fact true that he had anything had some things to do with this, but he'll serve some time.
Yeah, he'll have, even if he don't go to jail for this, he'll serve time in the eye of public perception, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Yep.
like, because now anything that he says is taken with a grain of salt, because he's now seen as not trustworthy because of the person that he attached himself to. So,
Yep.
I mean, I hope that DJ Envy didn't have anything to do with the actual scheme itself. But the fact that you publicized and you promoted this gentleman that was stealing millions and millions and millions of dollars of people is not a good look for DJ Envy at all, dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good look at all, man. And I hope he don't do no time, but we'll have to just see and kind of, keep up with the story. But it's crazy about what happened, my G. It's crazy. Thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far and you like what you see, there's a video on the screen right here. Make sure you look at that and view that. We think you're going to love it. Also, we still got the 450 subscriber goal, so hit that subscribe button right there too. And we're on all your streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcast.